Luke and
No, wait. Intro. Ready? 3,
oh,
2, 1.
1.
Luke and Aryan in the morning. Ding. Okay,
Yeah,
guys.
I don't think we should do that again.
No, I like it. I don't know.
No,
It's
we're
just
stealing. You can't just steal from another show again.
yeah, but they didn't like.
Well,
Okay.
they kind of like took that.
It wasn't
and
official though, because they didn't ever post
It was
it.
official.
They didn't ever post their video.
Yeah, but we saw Community itself.
Yeah, but like, who else watches Community? Who else watches our podcast?
Okay, let's just. I think we still need to figure out what's going on.
All right. Good morning, guys.
Good morning. How's
I'm
it
your
going?
host, Luke.
And I'm your co-host Aryan. Welcome to Vidiots on Call.
Episode 4. Good morning, everybody.
Hopefully episode 4, unless something gets out of whack.
No, I think it's great. I think it's episode 4.
Okay.
I guess in the weather this morning, it's pretty nuts.
Weather in Richmond Hill. We can't say just in general.
Yeah, weather Richmond Hill, where we're from, it's pretty nuts here. Got shit ton of snow. My dad wakes me up at like 6:40. He's like, "So the snow, Luke." And I'm like, "Dad, it's still snowing." Like,
So
it's a
you still need
useless
to
job.
You know you can actually get fined by the government.
Okay, I'm gonna do my snow job. It's just a lot, man. It's gonna be heavy as hell.
Oh wow, suck it up. Everyone's got driveways to shovel.
Gotta borrow my snowblower. I should call someone to plow it for me. All right.
Oh yeah. Okay, here's what I wanted to talk about. So I was in the car with my dad like a couple days ago, and we are just riding in the car, and then out of nowhere on the radio, the person was like, "Oh yeah, did you guys know that Toto's Africa is playing on 24-hour? It's playing on loop in Africa." So do you know the song Africa by Toto?
Yeah.
Right. That is playing on loop on a sound installation in an African desert. Here,
Wait, what?
Rolling Stones did a like a little article on it.
Yeah, plug
Here.
it in the description. That's pretty cool.
Here, look at it. Endless Africa. Toto's hit play on continuous loop in African desert sound installation. Like they're playing Toto's.
How? Like, how did they...
I don't know how.
They're just a bunch of speakers.
It's just a bunch of like.
How did they run out?
crappy
How did they
speakers.
replace the batteries? And
I don't know. I don't know. But like, they're playing Africa. They just made a meme, forever encapsulated in a country's history.
Wow. That's
like,
epic.
No, that's
epic.
That's getting a meme to a whole new level.
That's epic.
That's
what epic means. It's like
That's
getting
like-
a meme to a whole new level
That's
is
like
epic.
transcended a whole new concept.
We should do, guys. I don't know if you hear about the war against PewDiePie and T-Series. It's very sad. Like T-Series is like 100,000 subscribers under PewDiePie. Like they're like 82 million is what PewDiePie's at. T-Series is at 81 million. Okay,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
So
What if we
crazy.
like set up a speaker system in the middle of like the North Pole or like some crazy place in Canada, or like
Yeah.
up north, and had it like had a bitch lasagna playing.
Yeah.
What?
Great idea, Luke. Totally. So great. Fish lasagna in the North Pole, because so many people in the North Pole could subscribe to PewDiePie.
But like, see, no,
Wow. Wow! Oh my god! Such a great idea. Don't you guys agree? Just so amazing.
I don't know what you guys
Great.
are saying, but like I think
Great idea. Like,
okay.
it's just a great idea.
Are you done?
Just so amazing. Just beyond. Like, look, if you guys can't see hand size, but imagine my hand is over my head, and I'm saying, this is like Albert Einstein, right? He's here. But then, Luke, you're like in the stratosphere right now.
Oh my god.
That's like, the theory of relativity could not hold a bone to what you just said.
Are you done?
The concept of
Oh,
life
fuck.
itself is pointless now.
Okay, I
Because
just
he
skipped
came up
ahead.
with this
It's
amazing
just so
idea.
annoying. All right, let's
You're
get to
like-
questions.
you're like-
we have questions.
We don't have questions.
We have questions.
Yeah, sure we do.
Yes, we do. I got a question on Snapchat yesterday.
Oh, on Snapchat. Although Vidiots doesn't actually have a Snapchat.
No, it's my Snapchat. Someone asked. Okay,
Luke.
his name is Matt the Vlogger. He asked me a question. Hey, can you make another podcast discussing about Pixar's success and their sequels? That's a very good question, Matthew.
Did we even talk about Pixar?
No, not yet.
Make another podcast about Pixar?
I don't know. I don't think he understands.
Maybe it was like make another podcast, comma, about Pixar and the sequel.
I don't think he wants another pod. That's kind of crazy. But I think we could just go with like a straight up like.
Actually, yeah. You know what? Pixar's. Oh, did you guys hear? Okay. There's a YouTuber by the name of Austin McConnell. There's actually a guy at our school who looks exactly like him.
Okay.
Anyways, he actually made a video. Toy Story 2, I think, got deleted.
Huh?
At one point. So, like, the animators, they had, like, this Linux server, so it wasn't, like, graphic-based. Like, you know, like, folders, drag and drop, that type of thing. So, it was, like, code-based. And then, like, on the server, someone was messing around, and then, like, they just deleted 90% of the entire film.
No way.
Like, pretty much all of Toy Story 2 was deleted.
And they couldn't get it back?
No, they couldn't get it back. They tried everything. And their backup was not working either. Had stopped working like 2-3 months previously.
Oh my god.
And then the only reason they were able to finish it was that the I think it was like the supervisor. She was like a mom, a pretty amazing person actually. She was a mom and she was working on the movie on her spare time, so she had a server at home with all the Pixar, with the whole Toy Story 2 movies.
Oh, she's a hero, guys.
Yo, Toy Story 2 was so sad.
That was actually so sad.
All Toy Stories are sad.
You see Toy Story 4, apparently, did the comment on Twitter that, what's his face made? Tom Hanks? Tom Hanks made a comment on Twitter, and he was like, when I was filming Toy Story 4, I had to look away from the rest of the cast when I was doing the last scene because I just couldn't look at them without crying and bawling my eyes out. Yo, that just makes you think, like, ugh.
All Pixar movies have, like, this sad, like, thing in the back. Like, Monsters, Inc.,
like,
Monsters University.
Have you heard the Pixar theory?
Like the thing that all the movies are connected?
Yeah, that's pretty dark. It goes back to, like, Brave and, like, Monsters, Inc. or something like that. Like, if the girl from Monsters, Inc. is the old witch from Brave.
Yeah.
That shit just makes you think, you know, like, fuck, like, what? Yo.
No, I don't think we have time to delve deep into that.
Yeah, we can make, like, a separate, like, actual, like, whole show. About
maybe,
If you guys want to hear the Pixar theory, I can totally explain it to you guys.
No,
like,
please don't.
Like in another episode or whatever,
Yeah.
I can explain it. Like just as separate, if you guys really want
separate.
that. Or you can just go on YouTube and search it up.
You
like
do,
you don't need to hear it.
Want to hear it from our voices for some reason? Obviously, leave a comment if you're watching.
Yeah, like if you want to hear the Pixar theory, guys, hit me up. Like I got you. But like, there's always a guy on YouTube who does it a lot better, who actually invented the Pixar theory himself.
Well,
but there's
I don't think
you
could find that one guy.
Oh no, I know the guy.
He's the guy who invented. No, but it's been around like it's been on Reddit posts and all this stuff.
Yeah, I know. I think this guy, he pulls it all together though and explains it all himself, and he does it pretty well. That's how I learned, at least, from this guy. You probably seen his videos.
Anyways, that's not the topic right now. It's the Pixar success and their sequels.
Yeah,
up.
they're pretty successful, guys.
Actually, you know what? Let me search out what sequels they have coming up right now.
Toy Story 4. What else is there? I don't even know. I stopped watching Pixar.
I haven't watched a lot of.
I've seen the recent, like I haven't seen Brave or any of those ones. Like
okay, so here's Cars 3
is out.
It's out already, but
Cars 4 is coming.
There's no Cars 4, but like, did you see Cars 3?
It was kind of good.
It was like it wasn't a Pixar movie. It was like it was intense.
Cars 3, it was like Cars 3 was a definition of society. It was pretty interesting.
It was like they were like, hey, you know that movie that you come to question how these cars live and breathe and whether they go to the mechanic or the doctor when they're sick. You know those guys? Why don't we just do a social commentary on this whole situation?
Yeah, it was pretty interesting.
Great movie, The Good Dinosaur.
Really? I never watched it.
I loved it. The name of the dinosaur is like Arlo, and like if I get a dog, I'm gonna name the dog Arlo.
Oh, it's a good name.
It's such a good name. Anyways, I'm going to the list. Inside Out was pretty nice.
Oh, that was a good movie.
That was a good movie. I mean, there were some spots that I didn't like too much.
Inside Out reminds me of Baby Secondary School.
Oh, Wreck-It Ralph Breaks the Internet. Ralph Breaks the Internet. That sucks. That sucks.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh,
I'm sorry.
I haven't seen it yet.
Like I watched these trailers, and I think it's awesome when movies like.
Bro, I was playing Fortnite. All of a sudden, I see Ralph come on the screen. I'm like, what is happening? Because like apparently they did a collab. But yeah.
Yeah, I love the fact of like movies like bringing some sort of commentary
Yeah.
up because they get so much exposure, especially a movie like Wreck-It Ralph. Like, they get a lot of exposure. It's great to bring them issues. It's another thing to ram it down your throat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? It's great to see it, but I want it to also be enjoyable. I don't want it to take away from the movie itself.
Right, yeah.
Like that scene where the girl goes into the thing with all the princesses, and she's like, oh, and so you guys are just all waiting for guys to, like, save you?
It was very, like, yeah.
Like, I think that could have been done so much better without it being explicitly said. Because when it's explicitly said, I'm like, okay, great. Now I'm not thinking about the movie anymore. I'm thinking about this freaking.
Did you see the Pornhub cameo?
There was a Pornhub cameo?
When they were showing like a list of site logos, like that big wave of site logos in the trailer, I'm pretty sure I saw Pornhub. I saw an Instagram thing for it, and it was like, if you look at this corner of the screen, you see a Pornhub logo. It's like,
no, but it's like there's a lot of movies that are just like they're just pure cash grabs, and then there's like the Emoji Movie. Now it was a great meme, obviously, right? But like it was just a 2-hour ad. I saw a thing from College Humor where it's like you watch all these ads and then you'll never have to watch an ad in your whole life again, right? I feel like that was the movie.
Yeah.
And then in the College Humor sketch, like the people died because it was like just ads. But like, it's pretty much that's what it was.
Yeah, it was big ad. It was honestly a 2-hour long unskippable ad. Like
yeah.
Although you could just walk out of the movie theater. What'd you think of, like, okay, yeah, like, I don't know. For me, I don't watch any of the new Pixar movies just because I'm an OG Pixar kid. Because like, I watched them as a kid, right?
I love cartoon movies,
like,
dude.
I grew up with Pixar movies, right? It's Toy Story, Nemo, all those good movies. Like, Cars. Like, yo, literally, I have a giant-ass poster. As a kid, I had a huge poster of Cars in my room.
Okay,
like,
I don't know if this movie is Pixar, but Kung Fu Panda?
Nah, that's DreamWorks.
Okay. Such an amazing movie.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
Kung Fu Panda 2 was also good, and then Kung Fu Panda 3 kind of just like a...
I didn't even watch that.
It was like a little bit like, oh, he goes and finds all the other pandas.
Episode 1 is the best. Like, sorry, episode 1. The first movie is the best. Like, honestly, like, you can't
I love just the whole concept of this mystical like martial arts. Because when I first watched it, I was so into martial arts.
It's kind of like Karate Kid. It's a bit like Karate Kid.
It's a bit like a magical version of Karate Kid.
I used to do that finger snap thing. You know what I'm talking about?
The pinky.
The pinky thing.
Yeah.
I used to do that all the time. As a kid, thinking I could, like, do some shit.
Wait, Luke. Ka-chow.
Yeah.
Sorry, you guys didn't have seen it.
You can't see it, but we did the pinky
and
thing.
And then there was also the show too, Kung Fu Panda show. Did Jack Black voice the show?
No, he didn't.
Okay.
Jack Black didn't voice the show.
Although, great show.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, you know what I liked? School of Rock, the Shibi show.
Dude, they did a School of Rock 10-year reunion thing.
Yeah. A
little while ago. I can't remember when. Dude, it was so awesome. But like since Miranda Cosgrove just became bigger and bigger throughout the whole thing, since School of Rock, it was kind of odd to see her just in the background, just not doing anything. Because in the movie, she didn't do anything. Yeah. So the band was playing, and they're playing the songs that they had before, and these kids could still rock, dude.
Yeah, obviously.
The kid who was on guitar, he was shredding.
I love that guy. That guy was literally like.
And then the drummer, oh my god, they just got better and better, yo.
I mean, yeah, most of those guys, yeah, like shit.
Did you ever see Brave? I never actually saw Brave.
Oh, sorry, changing subject. I was at work, and basically before like the show began or whatever.
Which show?
Like, it was just a show that was happening at my work. They were playing music in the lobby, and guess what song came on?
What?
Okay, you know at the end of The Office, season 9, like the last episode, when Creed plays that,
All the Faces.
Oh yeah, that song came on.
Really?
It was by Creed, Brat, and everything. And I was like, yo, I love this song.
Dude, if you guys end up watching Office and you go through the whole thing, it's such a sad scene. Because you're kind of like, you follow this story of all these people. And they, for that moment of you watching it, they somewhat became like a family, like air quotes family to
Better
you.
Person, yeah.
And it's like, it's just so sad to be like, I'm never going to see.
I feel like you feel that on graduation, you know, like, it's
honestly,
like, it's like epic graduation goggles. Because,
it's not even like, because it's like,
you might hate your friends.
Like, you might hate every single person around you, but like the concept of like, you've gotten used to these people. They became a part of your life, and
like,
now they won't be anymore.
Like, I'm in grade 11, I'm already starting to feel that. I'm like, shit. Like,
Honestly,
I hate half these people, but still, like...
Do you know what is... I know what's going to happen to me for sure. What? I'm going to be perfectly okay up until graduation and at graduation. But then, like, 1 month in to, like, university, I'm just going to be like, yo...
I miss everyone.
I'm just going to just break down.
Yeah, like, honestly, like, I'm going to probably...
Speaking about breaking down, back to the Pixar thing. Up was the saddest movie I've ever seen.
Okay, change subject. I can't think about. All right,
like,
sorry.
It beat Titanic by a
tear.
Like, it was like so sad because Titanic is like, oh, happy at the beginning and sad at the end. This movie is just sad.
Yeah.
At the beginning, and then it has just a little glimmer of hope at the end. Oh God.
The old man, I just love him. Like, I have sympathy for old people. Like, I don't know why. Like, any movie with old people makes me cry. It's like, it's just so cute. There's like, old people are generally just cute. Like,
dude, it's just such a sad.
Like, old people have their own cuteness, and it just like makes me cry every time I see them going through shit. Like, they don't deserve it. They're old people.
Yeah, they've been through so much shit already.
They don't deserve this. They deserve
Do you know what else?
To live happy.
Do you know what else? I heard Coco was pretty good. I never actually watched
I didn't watch that. See, like, I don't watch the new ones, right? Like, Up was probably the last Pixar movie I actually watched. Ratatouille was good.
Oh, it's good. I hope they make a Ratatouille 2, though.
I don't think they are.
they never would, because like they didn't really end the story with like, hey, let's make a sequel.
Ratatouille gave me serious anxiety that I had rats in my kitchen.
I just love the concept of like this rat being so good at cooking, and he's just controlling this guy with his hair. I know. It's just...
Pixar people are really creative. I love their input.
Pixar. Sorry, I'm so sorry. I'm actually going down a list.
Oh, I just saw what you looked at. WALL-E.
WALL-E.
Oh.
All-time favorite movie and all-time sad movie.
It makes you think, you know.
It seriously gets you, like...
It makes you think of society, honestly.
That's how, like, I think Wreck-It Ralph Break the Internet should have been. Like, making these, like, commentaries on society and the way we are.
Through the internet, like, yeah.
Yeah, through the internet. The way that WALL-E did it.
WALL-E did a great job because it made humans look like the shittiest people in the world, like we deserve to be.
And then like it was like screw, like I was like, yo, let's just like mass murder every human and just make all these robots.
Exactly.
And just leave it at that.
Like, okay, yo, that was like...
it was legit sad. And you know what?
You know, by and large, the same batteries that were like in Toy Story 2.
They're all in. Yeah, that's how they.
By and large, is like the big like.
I know that's like the big evidence point
they say. Of the world, yeah, or Monsanto of the world. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, that's how they like connect all the Pixar movies with.
Is by and large. That place is actually a meme, honestly.
Yo, like WALL-E, especially. I actually had the CD as a kid, and I like. At first, I didn't really like it. I was like, "It's this stupid robot."
I got WALL-E on my shelf right there.
But then I grew a little bit older, and then I was like, "Oh,
I think we watched.
He just wants love."
No, I think we watched it in geography class, and I was more into the fact that, like, how fucked up humans were.
Yeah.
Because like that was kind of my phase in grade 9. I was like, we're ruining the world. We're destroying it. We need to like get rid of all humans.
Yeah. Oh, do you know what was a great movie?
Yeah.
And it's like a one that was recently just made after 10 years. Actually, even longer, I think.
Which one?
Incredibles.
Incredibles 2 or Incredibles 1?
Yeah, Incredibles 1.
Oh.
And then the sequel, too. I actually didn't watch the sequel.
I didn't see the sequel yet, no.
I actually saw a video on YouTube from Fairback Films, and they're like... It's like, the bad guy comes, and he's like, hey, I'm here to fight you guys. And then Jack's like, yeah, no, mom became a stripper, because turns out she could inflate her booty to whatever size she wants.
They said that in Incredibles?
No, not in Incredibles. It was a sketch by Fairback Films.
Oh.
And then it was like, yeah, Dad just like ripped the guy in half, was talking shit, and then Jack's addicted to ice. And then the bad guy was like, oh shit. I mean, how can I help? I thought that was kind of funny because it was like the concept of like this. It took them so long to make a sequel.
Get ready for this. I want a Frozone solo film. I think
people only want that is because of the meme.
No.
Honey,
honestly, Frozone.
Where's my super suit?
Honestly, Frozone is a good character, and I feel
don't
like
think they can make a solo movie though.
I think we need to have like honestly going to like the fact of like just race representation in like Pixar films. Frozone was one of the first like African American characters.
I wouldn't make any statements like that without any evidence backing it up.
He was like.
Can
you think of any other African American main characters?
I'm just saying, let's just not say anything because we don't know.
Okay, but I'm saying like I think we need a little bit more of that representation in a solo film, like Black Panther. was a great show, a great movie because of its African American representation. It hit a certain audience.
Here's what I have to say about Black Panther. Okay, okay. So Black Panther got nominated. So we're off Pixar, by the way, if you haven't noticed.
Yeah, we gotta go back to Frozen though, but anyways.
Black Panther got like nominated for Best Picture, and like people were like, oh, awesome. And then some people were like, oh, it shouldn't have been. It's overrated. Avengers: Infinity War should have been. And I lost my mind. Okay, as much as I love Marvel and Avenger movies, Infinity War kind of sucked.
It did.
It was a little bit like
it was unorganized.
He was like here we have we have this huge amount of information that we have to throw in,
and they just cluttered it.
And they kind of just like forced it in there. There were like so many storylines that they were trying to keep. Obviously, it's possible, but they put a 3-hour time thing on it, and it seems like
like if you're gonna do it, make it like a 6-hour movie or something.
Or like or even not. If you're making it 3 hours, split it up into 3 movies. That's fine, because I think people would enjoy 3 good movies that have proper storylines instead of 2 just really shit movies who are just all cluttered and messed up.
Also,
now, I don't know how good the second one's gonna be because they're bringing Captain Marvel in too. But then like the first one, I didn't like. It was
one thing that's shit about Marvel movies in terms of their advertising is after the big like ending in Infinity War. Okay, if you guys haven't seen it, you're dumb. Okay, so I'm just gonna spoil it.
No, don't spoil it. But after the big
everyone's seen it. Okay,
just calm
everyone's
down.
heard of it. It was on the news.
Down.
Okay,
let's just calm down.
Okay, fine. Anyways, after the ending in Infinity War, they're still advertising for other Marvel characters that were ended in Infinity War, which is really stupid. Like, this new Spider-Man trailer came out. Like, that just ruins it for everyone who watched it.
Yeah, but then like the Spider-Man Spider-Man takes place before Avengers: Infinity War.
I don't think it does.
It technically does, but then like he has a black suit, I think, in Far From Home. I think it's called Away From Home.
No, he gets the black suit in in
the second
Far From
one.
Home.
But then like he has the Iron Spider in the Avengers movie.
Like he doesn't. He's wearing his homecoming suit in the
Avengers, and then he gets Iron Spider.
Exactly. So his new stealth suit or his black suit doesn't come until after Infinity War. We're assuming.
Well, technically,
if he's not, he'd be wearing it.
Unless they say it was before it though.
Yeah, like he'd be wearing his. He'd be wearing his Far From Home suit.
Unless something happens to the Far From Home suit, then we don't know because we haven't watched the movie yet.
I don't think so, but I don't know. It just it just seems stupid because like it just kind of confuses people.
But like on the Spider-Man point. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse was a pretty dope movie.
I haven't seen it yet. I don't spoil it for me. Like
I haven't seen it. I've just heard that it's a pretty amazing movie, and the concept is pretty awesome to me because I'm like a huge Spider-Man fan, and this is not like I'm the biggest. Like I had like Spider-Man like fan stuff and memorabilia since I was like 4.
Oh damn!
That's not a joke. I had like you could ask my parents. I had like Spider-Man bed sheets up until I was 12. I had like a shit ton of Spider-Man toys. When I was a kid, I used to pretend I was Spider-Man. I tried forcing my parents to buy those like silly string web shooters. I had the mask. I was like into Spider-Man.
As a kid, yeah.
And
I bet you still do that.
Shut up.
I can see you like walking to this Spider-Man mask like
Controversial opinion. Also, I thought the Amazing Spider-Man 1 was better than the Tobey Maguire stuff. In my opinion. I just think because it's like in both of them it's weird how he just gets an amazing suit just by his own like tailoring ability, but like still I just like that storyline more. I like the Gwen Stacy rather than MJ.
You mean Ultimate Spider-Man? That's the one that you're talking about.
Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh, sorry. Is that?
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking.
Yeah, Amazing Spider-Man's the one with the
Gwen Stacy.
No, Andrew Garfield is one. Yeah,
but like Gwen Stacy, like I like the Gwen Stacy love story rather than.
Yeah, I like that too.
That's just my opinion, but like obviously people have different.
I haven't seen Homecoming yet. Is there who's the love interest there?
Technically, it's Vulture's daughter. I can't remember her name, but then it's supposed to be MJ.
Afterwards,
MJ, in Far From Home.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
shit.
But then weird. MJ, I think people were like theorizing that Zendaya was like Doom's daughter, but then I don't think she was. No, I don't know. Anyways, I'm a huge fan of Spider-Man. Just
all right. I feel bad for the people who I told to watch this podcast but don't like anything related to this.
Yeah,
I'm really sorry.
Now I kind of want to shift a little bit from movies onto something that's happening right now, and that's by the way, I'm speaking for both of us here. We're not saying any political thing based on like what side we're on or anything like that. I'm just saying an issue here. So Doug Ford, the premier of, is his name Doug Ford, right?
Doug Ford, yeah.
The premier of Ontario is saying like, hey, we should change sex ed in education to
I think
the
you're
old
an OSAP.
curriculum.
Okay, yeah.
No,
This is different too,
OSAP is its own thing, and I don't think we have any right to talk about OSAP yet because we're not even in university and we don't have to deal with any of the real problems right now.
Yeah.
Like if I were to do that, I'd like bring my sister or whatever. But like,
yeah.
yeah. So there's Doug Ford, the premier of Canada, which is basically like the senator in the U.S. Although I don't know why I'm saying that because we don't have any U.S. listeners. We don't have any listeners. Period.
I have friends in the U.S.
Anyways,
anyways, yeah.
He's like, hey, we should change our sex ed education to the old one, which was like abstinence only. You know, so they wouldn't teach anything about sexually transmitted disease, how to have safe sex, consent, how to have like online, like how to be safe online in terms of like illicit pictures and stuff. Like, here's my big issue with that, right? It's the internet section.
Because the internet wasn't around back then, yeah.
Yeah. And abstinence only, I have no problem people being like abstaining. That's not my issue. My issue is saying, oh, abstinence only, and I guess go fend for yourself if you get herpes. My bad. You know, luckily there is a teacher right now who's like making a Kickstarter, whereas I'll actually try to find the link. We're doing a Kickstarter where she has the entire sex ed curriculum on there, and she'd be like teaching kids over on like the internet.
Oh shit!
But like she wouldn't be like, she would have videos and then she would teach them.
Huh?
Right? Which I think is like great if this ends up going through.
Great.
And honestly, it looks like it's going through because the PC conservatives seem like to have like a big
backing of it.
Yeah.
I don't like. Okay,
we're not saying.
I don't feel comfortable with that online teaching thing. I don't feel like comfortable even learning it in school. I think it should be taught from like father to son or mother to son.
That's my only issue with that, because like I don't think it should be. I don't think parents have any idea how intense it could be, especially to our generation of parents. Yeah. Like, oh, internet's like this, so they'll just make internet into this.
What do teachers know, or what does the school board know about the internet?
No, but like the school board has the curriculum where it's like, oh, it's okay to do this, but be safe. Yeah. Whereas like your parents would be like, don't do it, it's not safe. And then I guess
because this is how I learned. I learned from my parents. They taught me everything I needed to know about like safe sex, about this kind of stuff, about STIs. Like I learned all this kind of stuff from them. And then my brother comes home one day, and he tells us all these things that he learned. And I'm like, oh, where'd you learn this? And then he's like, oh, from the internet, from school. Like,
here's the thing, though. Like, a lot of, like, Doug Ford's main things, like, it's not age appropriate, right? Because they start from grade 2. And I think that, because we have different, like, upbringings. And I think it's great that they have sexual education to this extent. Because they start at grade 2 where, like, hey, name the body parts. And then they move to, like, same-sex marriages. And then in grade 7 and 8, they do anal and oral sex and stuff like that. Yeah. And then, like, here's my thing, okay? Like, I was in a family who was like super conservative, and talking about things is like not something that you would do. Mm-hmm. Okay? Like it's not something that you would do.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? My dad tried to sit me down, and like he was like, no, it's fine. Right? So my parents had no problem like signing the permission to be like, okay, you can learn in school. And honestly, here's the thing. Like Doug Ford's like, oh, it's not age appropriate. In general, people are like, oh, it's not age appropriate. That's
I agree with him.
But like, here's the thing. The schools have like permission slips that they send home with the kids' parents. Do you want your kids included in this lesson?
And yeah, what if they don't?
And if they don't say yes, then the kid's just not included in the lesson. That's
and what?
fine.
And then the kid grows up to become some like fucking hooker, like.
No, nothing happens. It's then the parents' responsibility to educate their kid, right? Or they could, because the education goes throughout until grade 8. So they could just say, okay, now at this point, it's fine. Go to your sex, do the health stuff.
Right.
Sex ed. I think that's a great option that's in there. But like completely removing it, and he's like, oh, we're removing until we come up with a new policy. That's still stupid, because then there's a whole group of kids who will not be educated at all.
That's true, but like.
I don't think of it.
I don't believe in it being taught in a classroom. That's my thing.
I think that we're different here, because I think the classroom setting allows it to be more educational rather than
but talking about a kid like me, talking about a kid like me in grade 7, who just me and my friends that thought of a dick would just laugh our asses off at it. Some kids just aren't mature enough to learn that in a classroom setting. They won't take it seriously. They won't listen. Like like when I learned the real shit in grade 9, I was serious about it. But different kids are different people. The thing. What if you don't even show up to class that day and you don't learn the important thing about this, and then you just grow up without knowing it because it's only covered in one day?
Not necessarily. They spread it out too. Especially, I don't know about our school, but I know that like they spread it out.
I think my sex ed class, we ended up the unit itself, we did like about 7-8 lessons, but like again, each lesson was very, very like different, talking about different parts of it. So if I missed one aspect of it,
Yeah,
because I was sick or something like that.
Yeah,
like,
but then that's like yours. It's not the school's responsibility to like fend for every single kid.
Yeah.
They're teaching a curriculum. It's also the student's responsibility to like be there. Now, if you're sick, that's fine. That's not an issue. But then, I mean, we have the internet. You could always look it up at one point.
and that's where it goes bad because you don't want to look it up on the internet.
Yeah.
It's like they can teach you different
And like,
things.
I think like if you're told by parents like, my friend like, yeah, I'm just scarred. Like, just I don't like my dad talking to me about sex is just like gross. Like, I don't want to think about it.
I was comfortable with it. He did it my parents did it properly.
Yeah, but my point is not all parents do it properly, and not all parents do it. So
That's
kids
true.
grow up, they're like, oh, what's an STD? I don't know. And now my penis is burning every time I pee. You know?
Yeah.
Right? That's my point.
So I can see where you're coming from, yeah. And
I understand the other perspective of like it being age appropriate. Right? I understand that side of it. And like I respect the argument itself. But then I'm like, just don't bring your kid to class.
I agree.
Like don't be like, ask your kid, ask a teacher, don't include my class inside that, don't include my child inside that thing. And a big thing that they talk about is consent. Which is huge.
That's huge. We need that.
That is like
consent. Like
beyond anything. And
I think we covered like 2 units, two days of units.
That should be from like day one.
I
don't care if it was. I don't care if it's like grade 2 or grade 8. Like at grade 2, you wouldn't be like, oh, if someone's like, can I have sex with you? Like they would be like, if Johnny says, can I play with your toy? And Allison says, no, Johnny has to listen.
Yeah, that should
like
be
that would be the way that we do it. Like teachers aren't stupid. They're not going to be like, okay, boys and girls, when a man brings his penis, you know, like
yeah, you never say that in grade 2.
Yeah, it's like, and honestly, kids are like they know way more at a grade 2 now than they did when I was a kid.
Fuck yeah, obviously. Like my
when I was like in grade 7, I had like kids in like grade 3 who knew more than me.
Right.
Which I think is like having that information is great, but not knowing what to do with that information is like dangerous.
All right. Yeah.
Because then like the whole consent thing, like I think because abstinence only, what's the consent?
So yeah, let's like hear from you guys too. If you guys are listening to this part and you're in the comments, comment what you think. All right, we'll try not to argue about this. I mean, like there's obviously
have like
different
two
sides.
different like sides, and I think it's mostly because of your upbringing and where you are.
Yeah,
if you come up, I think
it depends on the person. Like even religious wise, sex
like,
means different things.
If you were to like grow up in a more conservative family where this stuff is taboo to talk about, you might be on the other side where it's like, hey, like this needs to be taught in school because people in my situation will not be taught. At least that's where I come from, right? And then like my dad barely talked to me about masturbation. He was like, okay,
yeah, my dad didn't even cover that either. Like he didn't cover that for me either.
And
he
they
just
covered
told me
that
the
in the sex ed stuff.
They do?
Like, it's like it's all about like saying that, hey,
oh shit, we did it.
You're a hormonal monster. Just it's fine. Just it's about just being educated.
Yeah, we did do that in grade 8.
Because like I feel like in like if you were to do it with your parents, sometimes it might get demonized, and I think that's not a good thing. Because if a kid were to do it, right, they'd feel like, oh no, I am dead now. You know.
Exactly. So I think that's a good place to leave it off.
Yeah, I guess like we went from like less serious to more serious.
Yeah, and this is fine though. This is what the podcast is for, right? What are your thoughts, guys? Let us know. If you
gonna put our side onto it. I mean, even if you're not in Canada and you're listening for some reason,
there's like even not in Canada, there's different parts in different states that are going through the same thing as us.
And even in a lot of provinces, they're not as good with sex ed.
And it needs to be debated because it needs to be talked about because there's different sides.
You need all sides of the story out there because you can't make an educated decision without it.
Yeah. Obviously, and we all have our freedom to our opinions, right? So that's what needs to be
great. If you guys are listening, please leave your opinion about everything that we said, including Pixar movies, Toto's Africa being played on loop in Africa,
and PewDiePie,
and sure, your North Pole idea,
my genius North Pole idea,
and then this the sex ed thing. So
yeah, we'll leave it there.
Yeah, thanks again for listening in to Vidiots on Call. I'm your host Aryan.
Please get us past 1 subscriber. All right, I'm your host, Luke.
And thank you all for listening until this point.
All right, thank you. Bye.